Hello everyone. I was just tagged in a video by Xander Scullion, who was also tagged himself, and these are, I should answer 5 questions, 5 gaming questions you might not have known about me, and I'll try to do just that as much as I can. Firstly, I'll update you guys on the new video. I am working on a new video. I apologize for the infrequent posts for my video, but lots of exciting things are going on. I got engaged recently, and so there's lots of planning and that sort of thing. Lots of things that take my time. Also, I mean, I work a job where it requires an absolute ton of my time. So, but I am making a new video. I should finish the script soon, very soon. And I'm working some things in that I didn't think I would, but that's cool. I'm also shooting for a slightly shorter kind of video, but it's a really exciting game, so be on the lookout for that really soon. It's going to be on Mega Man 2 on the NES, and it's going to be a lot of fun, of course. Alright, so 5 things, gaming things that you might not have known about me. Well, the first thing is, I didn't actually beat the first Super Mario Brothers game until the night before I moved into college. So I was 18 years old, and a couple of nights before I moved to college, I thought, this is a game that I've never beat, that I should have. I should beat this game. So I had packed up all my stuff except for my NES and a small color TV, and I popped in Super Mario Brothers and practiced and beat it the night before I moved away to college. So that's one thing you might not have known about me. The second thing you might not have known is the first game I ever beat. When I was a kid, a really young kid, I beat Bionic Commando, and that was the very first game I ever beat, and it's still one of my favorites. So is Super Mario Brothers, by the way. But Bionic Commando is a great game with some great music, actually, and I hope I get to cover it one day in a video. It's a spectacular game. I played it, and I figured out and those of you who have beat it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a level, and I can't remember exactly the number of the level right now, but it requires the 3-shot gun to get through the opening, and I didn't know about the reset code back then. So I memorized which level it was, and went back and beat the whole game. I mean, I beat it all the way through. And it was the first game I ever beat. Like, there was an ending to these games, it was a revelation. So, first game I ever beat, and it's still one of my favorites. It's a fantastic game. Xander talked about his favorite series is Castlevania. So, I guess I wanted to point out my favorite series, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy was just special growing up. And I've mentioned Xander. There's another YouTube personality who I know, Xonevant from Square One Games. He and I actually grew up together a lot of the times together, and he and I both loved Final Fantasy. So it was great to, of course, play those games by yourself, but also to have somebody to talk to about those games. So he and I both loved the series, and lots of really great memories. I mean, they were just fantastic games, and they let your imagination run. Plus, I mean, the music was fantastic, which was great too. So there's something about that series which appeals to me. I don't know, like the grinding, the being able to overcome anything as long as you work hard enough, which doesn't always happen in real life, but it does in the game, so that's kind of refreshing and encouraging. And actually, while I'm here, I'll mention my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII. I know. A common game to have as a favorite game, and it's almost like I have to defend it, and I slightly will here. For example, I'll go on a mini rant in the middle of this video. it's not a sin to like Final Fantasy VII, and I only have to say that because it seems pretty common now to think of yourself as cool, if you hate Final Fantasy VII, or at least if you dislike it or something. I think mostly it has to do with you want to show that you have good taste in games or something, and it's like if I say some obscure game, is my favorite game, then that shows I have taste, and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. If you really do have a game that's your favorite, that's really obscure, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But there's also nothing wrong with having Final Fantasy VII as your favorite game, and it is my favorite game. Sometimes I often hear, that. Final Fantasy VII has to be your favorite game because that's the first RPG you ever played, or something like that. No, absolutely not. When I was a kid, like I said, Final Fantasy was a part of growing up. I had played what we knew as Final Fantasy III, and which was Final Fantasy VI. I had played that, and I had played some of the others too, especially the NES one. And I played other RPGs too. It's just Final Fantasy VII said something to me. I don't know. It did something to me. I love the atmosphere. I love the music. I love everything about it. So Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game, to go with that. Fourth gaming thing you might not know about me is I'm the same as Xander in that it would be my dream job to write music for video games. It would be awesome. And like him, I've had some experience in doing that. Whenever I lived in Georgia, I went to grad school at the University of Georgia. Go Dogs! And while I was there, I had a very good chance. A buddy of mine, David, we had done some interdisciplinary artistic projects together and stuff. He found out about a sort of educational video game, a virtual textbook really, for science, high school science classes and stuff. And the science department at UGA had gotten a huge grant to do it, and they needed some music for the game. So David and I got the job, and we wrote a lot of music for these 3 video games, which are, I guess, now being used in classrooms in Georgia. And that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We were both full-time students at the time, and I was working at the school teaching a course as a grad TA at the time. So on the weekends was the only time we had, and he has a family and kids and everything. We would just knock it out in the studios for several weekends and sometimes on weekdays. It was a lot of fun. Some of you may know this. I don't know. I write music as part of my job. My show is the video game music professor, but I'm actually a real professor at a university, and I teach music composition along with some other, music courses like orchestration and counterpoint and that sort of thing. So writing music is a huge part of not just my job, but who I am, and I think writing music for a video game would be, that's the dream, Especially, I would especially love Konami, if you're listening. A shot at the Silent Hill series. I think I could knock out a horror score. It would be a lot of fun, not being egotistical or anything. Of course, there's lots of great composers out there, but also Resident Evil, Capcom, if you're listening. I'd love to write a score for a horror game, especially, but any game would be a lot of fun. And fifth thing you might not know about me, or you might, I don't know. I posted this on Twitter just a few days ago and on Facebook. Is I'm really proud and humbled to be a part of the North Carolina, specifically, YouTube video game community. I mentioned Xander before in this video. He and the Weekend Game Guy, Chris, were so helpful whenever I first started, and even now, encouraging, me to have a show, and they promoted my show, and they have tons more, subscribers and stuff than I do, or probably ever will, they were fans in a way, but I was already fans of theirs. So it was good. I mean, they were part of the reason why I started it. I mean, I think I started my YouTube channel for the same reasons that a lot of people do, which is, I watched shows on YouTube, and I thought, that's awesome. And also maybe I can contribute something, because I was looking for a show specifically about video game music and explaining some of it and all that. And it just wasn't there, so I decided to do it. One of the shows that I really, really liked was 16-Bit Gems from Clan of the Grey Wolf. And I guess about a couple of years ago, I learned that Rue from Clan of the Grey Wolf, is actually a North Carolina, figure. I mean, he lives here in North Carolina, and so that was even more interesting. But so I saw shows like his, and I thought, man, I'd really like to do something like that. I like to do a show about video game music. And then I learned that there were, semi-local, YouTube people who were doing this sort of thing, and I thought I'd get involved. So a big thanks to Rue from the Clan of the Grey Wolf, Xander Scullion, man, great guy. I've hung out with him and with Chris, Weekend Game Guy, in real life before. They're awesome people. Just thanks for the inspiration, thanks for the encouragement. And also I'll point out another person here who I mentioned before, Xonevant from Square One Games. He lives in Georgia now, but he's actually from North Carolina. So there's another YouTuber who does a fantastic show. I encourage you to check out all of these guys if you haven't checked out 16-Bit Gems, clanofthegraywolf.com. That's Rue's Rue's show. Xander Scullion, the XS Gaming Podcast, and his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description for all of these. Weekend Game Guy, Chris, Xonevant from Square One Games. An amazing channel, more modern stuff going on there, but he knows how to kill those games. And then and also, I'll mention the other North Carolina YouTubers that I don't really know as well. Scuba Diver Picker and Scattershot Games. The Gaming Historian also was another fantastic YouTube channel. So that's my fifth thing. I'm really proud and humbled and excited to be part of the North Carolina YouTube gaming community. It's almost like we have enough of us here to have our own convention or something. So anyways, guys, there's 5 things you should know about me, or you could know about me. I don't know, you do know about me now. I should tag 5 other people. Unfortunately, I don't really know that many YouTube people, so help me out. But let's see. I'll tag Xonevant from Square One Games. That'll be awesome. I'll tag Chris, the Weekend Game Guy. I'll tag Rue from Clan of the Grey Wolf. So I'm tagging you to let us know 5 gaming things about yourself that we might not know. Let's see, if you have a podcast, it would be great if you answer those questions on the podcast, or you can make a video, whatever you like. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble on, and look forward to the next episode, which should be coming along pretty soon. Thanks a lot, guys.